The scratch of the transistor radio fills the room as a listener dials into the weekly Green Thumb broadcast, hosted by Extension Denver County Director Herb Gundel. It's the 1950s, and Gundel's radio show, along with his television program and books on gardening in the Rocky Mountains, draws a large following throughout Colorado. As the station tunes in, Herb's voice leaps through the air with enthusiastic advice about moving indoor plants outdoors in the spring. Gundel, a Colorado State University graduate, epitomizes over 100 years of passionate extension faculty and staff and their commitment to Colorado. The population may change, the needs of the state may change, but what remains are the people, like Gundel, dedicated to providing research-based solutions to residents from the Great Plains to the Western Slope and everywhere in between. This is the essence of CSU Extension. Extension's start can be traced as far back as the early 1800s, when President Abraham Lincoln signed the Morrill Act of 1862. Establishing the land-grant college system, the foundation of Extension was already being laid through citizen-run agricultural and home economics clubs. After Colorado Agricultural College, now CSU, was founded 8 years later, the pathway for establishing a comprehensive state outreach system was beginning to clear. The Hatch Act of 1887 led to the establishment of agricultural experiment stations throughout the state focused on studying the diverse agricultural landscapes in Colorado. These research establishments still exist today and span from Arkansas Valley to Orchard Mesa and lead research on agriculture, livestock, and crops. The Smith-Lever Act of 1914 formalized the extension system across the nation. Agents, now more commonly known as county-based faculty, were placed in nearly all of Colorado's counties and were supported by specialists. On the main campus, often professors who provided research tools to the community-based staff. This exchange of information between campus and community was a novel innovation and became an integral piece of the land-grant system's outreach efforts. County-based faculty and staff took the outreach mission to heart and worked to improve the lives of Coloradans by disseminating research from the main campus into real-world solutions. At the time, this meant a focus on rural Colorado, where well over half of the population lived. When the U.S. entered World War I in 1917, Extension staff played a critical role in educating local food system activation, including food production and preservation. The university continued to meet the needs of the state through countless challenges that followed, including the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl, and World War II. Fast forward to the 1960s, when cultural movements and population migrations from rural to urban areas spurred needed change to the traditional model of extension. The organization broadened its channels of expertise on campus beyond agricultural sciences and home economics to include horticulture, nutrition, personal safety, and community development. These new focus areas enabled agents to better meet the needs of Coloradans living in urban areas, such as Denver, while continuing Extension's foundational commitment to agriculture. CSU Extension continued to evolve throughout the next decades, facing a farm and energy crisis in the 1980s that led to layoffs and massive restructuring, as well as a reprioritization of focus areas in the 1990s. Advances in technology and the introduction of the internet shifted the structure of the fact bulletin, moving many resources online where they became accessible to more citizens of the state and beyond its borders. As environmental concerns grew at the start of the 21st century, agents began work in climate-smart agriculture and climate conservation. Colorado's population is changing rapidly, growing in number and in diversity, and CSU Extension is changing with it. Today's county-based faculty juggle a variety of community needs that change from traditional areas, such as 4-H youth development and agriculture, to new issues such as fighting opioid addiction and promoting civil discourse. To further reach the changing demographics and underserved communities in Colorado, faculty in Boulder County are delivering classes in Spanish for nonprofits engaged in urban community resilience, as well as overseeing the translation of fact bulletins, now called fact sheets, into Spanish. Just as Gundel embraced technology to deliver community education back in the 1950s through his radio program and television show, Today's CSU Extension faculty are meeting new demands in new ways. They are developing smartphone apps for Coloradans to identify plants in the field. They are working with colleges to introduce innovative programs to tackle modern issues. They're using paper rockets to teach STEM subjects to youth outside of the classroom. While the methods continue to evolve and issues will inevitably change, Extension staff, faculty, and volunteers remain boots on the ground, research in hand, ready to solve problems in the community they serve and love.